Hey, what's up everybody? In this video, I'm going to show you how to test your site's loading speed and quickly identify opportunities that you can take advantage of to quickly boost your site's loading time. And for this video, we're going to use this random site called What's Cooking America as an example. So the first place we're going to look to determine your site's loading speed is a Google developer's tool called PageSpeed Insights. And using it couldn't be easier. You just copy and paste the URL that you want to test into this box and click the Analyze button. And when you do that, Google will look at the code of your page and figure out how fast it probably loads. Now I just want to point out that this particular tool doesn't actually measure the loading time of your page. Later on in the video, I'm going to show you a tool that does. This tool looks at the code on your page and recommends specific improvements that you can make to speed that up. So as you can see, in this case, this page has a page speed score of 81, which is not bad, but not great. Ideally, you want your page speed score to be at least 85 and preferably above 90. Now, this is where things get interesting and where you can actually make actionable improvements on your site. They have an area called the suggestion summary, and this is just minor or sometimes major improvements that you can make that can really make a huge difference in your page speed score. The first one is fast server response. Now, that's usually an issue with hosting. So if you're running a site on Bluehost or HostGator or iPage or the other $4 or $5 per month hosts, you may want to consider bumping that up to something like Storm on Demand or Media Temple or WP Engine. That's a little more expensive because I find that drops this significantly. The response time is much faster. Avoid redirects. All that means is if you have a lot of redirects on your sites, like link redirects or image redirects, that's usually not a big problem for most sites. And reduce blocking resource. When they want asynchronous resources, that just means that they want your page code layout to load more at the top than at the bottom. Okay, and that's just better for user experience. In terms of minimized payload, that's just the sheer size of your page. So if you have a big, fat, poorly coded page, this will be a big problem. And here it says serve scaled images. So the images in this page are not optimized. You can see it's not optimized images. They don't have compression enabled, and the HTML is really big. So you can sometimes hack this with WordPress, but this is actually something where you may want to hire a professional coder to go in and improve the code of your page or use a theme that's a little more lightweight. In terms of minimized delay in page load, again, this is something that a theme could do, or you could hire a professional coder to put the CSS up top at the document head and to specify a character set. These are very easy, simple things that a coder could do for you. Usually in the other, I don't even pay attention to these because I find that this is more important. But if you want to, you can take advantage of some of these. And if you want more information on what appears for your site, just click on it. So for leverage browser caching, you want to cache all the images here. So it gives you specific information for your site. Now, that's a great way to find some easy wins. So once you made that improvement, or those improvements that they suggest, you want to head over to webpagetest.org. And this actually sends a bot to your page and tests the things server time, response speed. Obviously, there's a lot of overlap here, but I find that webpagetest.org gives a lot of information because they actually visit the site that Google doesn't. So to use it, it's very similar. You just put in your URL, so in this case, What's Cooking America, and then start the test. Now for the sake of the video, because this takes a while, I've already run the test for this site. So when you run the test, this is what you'll see. You'll see the different categories, which are very similar to what Google shows you, and a letter grade. Now first time byte, that is just how long it took the server to start sending information to the browser, and that's a D. And again, that's typically a problem with the server configuration or just having a slow server. And I find that this keep alive enabled is always an A, no matter what the site. In terms of compressing transfers, all that means is that you should zip your large files on your site, just like you do on your desktop. You can have a gzip, which is a plugin you can use for that, or certain themes automatically do that, and that's a very easy win that we'll talk about later. In terms of cache static content, What that is you want a cache on your server that makes it easier for people to access it, and that can be done actually with a CDN. So there's a plugin we can use for the cache static content, WP Super Cache, okay, and that'll cache the static content, and that can be used in conjunction with a CDN, which just speeds up your loading time. Okay, and we'll go over how to install a CDN in another video. Now, if you want more detail, you see this waterfall, and don't be intimidated by this if you're not, tech savvy. It doesn't matter. You can still interpret this information. So what we're going to do is click on the waterfall here, and this gives you a visual breakdown of how long it took this page to load and where the opportunities lie. So what you want to really pay attention to are long bars, because the longer the bar, the more time it took to load. So for example, this image, chrisbull.jpg, right? It took 679 milliseconds. So a pretty long time for an image. And then this one down here, this chalk ice cream image, took much longer, more than twice as long. So if you go down the list, usually on your page you can identify opportunities, and in this case all the long bars seem to be images, right? So most of them are images, but they're not all long. So there's something about certain images that are delaying the loading time, and a lot of times you can compress those images using a plugin, and this is something that actually the Google Developers Page Speed Insights test also recommended. So that's something that we'd want to do with this site. Now another thing I recommend doing after you've done that is to test an internal page. Okay, so in this case, here's an internal page from What's Cooking America, and we're going to copy the URL and head over to Page Speed Insights again and run a test there. Now the reason we do this is because I find a lot of times sites have their home page highly optimized, and internal pages aren't as optimized, even though a lot of people visit those internal pages, and those are landing pages for a lot of people, so you want to speed those up. So as for example, we ran this internal page and it has a page speed score of 77, and the home page had one 81. So this is quite a bit slower. So this is maybe there's some other opportunities here that weren't in the original that you could take advantage of. Finally, you want to test your site in mobile, okay? Because more and more people are using mobile, and mobile page loading speed is a Google ranking factor. So just run the test on your home page or internal page again, and over here it's default to desktop, and just click mobile. And what this does is it gives you mobile specific insights. So obviously mobile browsers are quite a bit different, and this happens to have the same score, and you'll find that a lot of the insights that they have here are similar or the same. But if you don't have like a mobile friendly site, sometimes this page speed score is significantly less. So it's definitely something that's worth checking out, especially if you get a significant amount of mobile users. So that's it for this video. Again, page speed, it's not super exciting, and it does require a little bit of tech savviness to interpret the information and act on it. But as I said, in a later video, I'll walk you through how to do it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.